Hello everybody, welcome to Shogi Ramen TV. いらっしゃいませ. Let's enjoy Shogi with me. Today, I will talk about the Tsume for the beginner Shogi players. And in this video, I will show the example of the basic patterns of the Tsume for each pieces. And after that, I will explain the basic techniques to surround the king. Let's enjoy and learn them. I will explain about Tsume using the gold. It's most basic Tsume. So for example, silver is here, king is here. If you have the gold, you can drop the gold and checkmate. It's most basic Tsume. And the gold is very strong because if king escape here, you can drop the gold and checkmate it. King cannot escape. And escape to the left side is also same. It's Tsume. Instead of the silver case, if the king is here and you drop the silver, it's checkmated. But if the king escape here and you can drop the silver here, but the king escape here. So silver has a weak point to the right side and left side. So the gold is the most best piece to checkmate. Let's see this position. The knowledge of the Tsume is very important. If you know the one move Tsume, drop the gold, then you can find this kind of the sacrifice. You can take the gold by rook and take by king and drop the gold. So if you know this situation and there is one move Tsume, you can sacrifice the rook easily. So the knowledge of the Tsume is very important. Okay, I will explain about the Tsume using the rook. This is the basic pattern for the Tsume using the rook. At this moment, you have the silver. If you drop the silver here, it's check, but the king can escape here, and you can check. You can continue check, but the king can escape. So in this situation, the good move is check by the rook and promote it. This is king and space and promoted rook. This is called it can do. This is very basic Tsume. If the opponent drops something, you can check here or here, and the gold cannot move to take because the rook can check the king. So this is basic Tsume using the rook and very important. Okay, this example is also very famous Tsume using the rook and gold. In this situation, there are many pieces of the opponent, but it's Tsume. You can drop the gold, and if king escape, you can promote the rook and it's checkmated. And if escape to the left side, you can take the knight by gold and escape. You can take the lance and escape the king and promote the rook and checkmate it. This is also basic Tsume and very useful in the real game. This case is the example for the silver case. In this situation, so if you have silver, you can checkmate by dropping the silver. If the king escape, promoted rook, it's a checkmate. And if the king escape here, you can promote the rook, and it's also checkmate. Silver is attacked to this position, so opponent cannot drop. And there is another Tsume, checked by the promoted rook. This is also checkmate. If the drop something, you can check by using the silver and escape, and you can take the gold. It's also checkmate. Sometimes silver is very useful with the combination of the rook. So if you have the gold, you can check by the rook and drop the something, but the gold cannot check. This is not check, so in this situation, silver is better than the gold for the Tsume. Okay, I will explain about the Tsume using the knight. Knight is very unique piece in the shogi. He can jump. So in this situation, you can check the here or from here. It's check, and the king cannot escape because of the rook. This is very interesting Tsume, and the most basic Tsume using the knight. And also knight will be used the combination with the bishop. This is anaguma. This looks very strong, but if the bishop is here and you have the knight, you can easily checkmate like this. This check is also Tsume because the silver cannot take this because of the bishop. So this is also interesting Tsume. And a similar situation like this case, and the bishop is here. And he have the pawn lance with the knight in this situation. So this looks very strong, but you can checkmate like this. Take by king and drop the knight. So this knight is interesting check with the bishop. He cannot take this knight and escape and drop the lance. So the anaguma is very strong castle, but sometimes you can easily checkmate using the bishop and knight combination. Okay, let's see the case of the lance for Tsume. Lance is very is also interesting piece. He can only go straight, but sometimes it's very strong piece. So for example, in this kind of situation, so king is here and the silver and the pawn is his castle. So in this situation, the lance, this kind of the lance attack is very good for Tsume because the king cannot move back because of the lance. This is very simple Tsume for lance, but this knowledge is very important. So for example, if you have the golden lance in this situation, you can take this pawn. Take and take, and you can drop the gold and checkmate. This kind of the checkmate using the lance will often happen in the real game. So the knowledge of the Tsume of the lance is also important. This is another case of the lance, and lance is very useful with the combination of the bishop. In this case there is one move Tsume, so move the bishop with promoted, so this is a check by the lance, and the king cannot escape here and here, and if drop something, it's also checkmate, take by lance. So this combination of the bishop is very strong and very useful in the real game. So for example, in this situation, if you have the bishop and the silver, you can drop the bishop here, and the king, if king escape here, this is the same situation, you can checkmate. And if the escape the king here, you can drop the silver here. If you know that this is Tsume, so you can easily sacrifice a silver and promote the bishop and checkmate. This is also very interesting Tsume and important knowledge using the lance and the bishop. Okay, this is interesting example about the pawn. So in the shogi rule, the pawn cannot be used for the checkmate, the final checkmate. So this dropping pawn is a checkmate, but it's not allowed. Pushing pawn is allowed, but the dropping pawn for the checkmate is not allowed. So, but in this situation, there is a Tsume, not promoted the pawn. This is interesting Tsume. So in this situation, you can drop the pawn because this is not the Tsume. King can take and promoted rook, check and escape and promote pawn. It's Tsume. This is interesting example for the pawn Tsume. This example is also the technique to surround the king. So in this situation, the promoted bishop is here, so you can check, for example, like this, but the king can escape to the white area. So in this situation, the check is not so good, but there is a technique to surround. So the dropping the silver here, this is the most basic technique, surround the king. So this is not check, but the king cannot escape here, here, here in the next. So if you have a turn, it's easy Tsume, dropping the silver or dropping the knight. So this kind of the move to surround the king is most basic and most useful in the endgame and for easy Tsume. This example is also important technique for the easy Tsume. Okay, in this situation, the king is here and the bishop is here and the gold is here. So you have the silver. So how to surround? So for example, dropping the silver would be the one way, but you have nothing more. So in this situation, there is a important technique. So take the gold by the promoted bishop and take the ball, take by king. So this is called drop the king to the bottom. Is very important technique. So because if the king is here, the escape route is very narrow, so you can easily create the Tsume situation. So drop the silver, king cannot escape, you can drop the gold. this is also very important technique to drop the king to the bottom. Of course, you can drop the silver and take the gold. So in this situation, you don't need to sacrifice the bishop, but the king can escape to the white space. So the sacrifice of the bishop is better than this situation because the king is very narrow and easy checkmate. I will explain the techniques for the easy tsume. So in this situation, there's a minnow castle. If you check like this, king can easily escape like this. So in this kind of the situation, so surrounding the king is a very important technique for the easy tsume. So in this situation, dropping the silver is a very nice technique to surround the king. So this silver is blocking the move of the king here. So the king cannot escape here, and next you can easily checkmate. And of course, opponent can take the silver by gold, but in this situation, king cannot escape to the left side. So you can easily checkmate like this. So this kind of the surrounding the king is a very important technique. Thank you for watching about the Tsume videos. This is very basic knowledge for the beginners, but very important to play the in endgame. There are two key points. The first point is that to know the basic patterns of the Tsume for each pieces. So each pieces in Shogi has very specific skills and very useful for Tsume. Okay, and the second, to know the techniques to surround the king for easy Tsume. So in the Shogi, in the endgame, the surrounding the king is very important technique to create the easy Tsume. So the easy Tsume is very important to find quickly. Okay. See you next ramen. Bye bye.